Greetings, Fright fans, and welcome to day 19 of our Edgar Allan Poe Down. So we are getting closer and closer to the big day all the time. You guys read some Poe yet? I hope so. And I hope you've had a chance to watch some of these movies. You know, every year I have people that say that they're going to try to watch every one of these movies along with my countdown. So if any of you out there are doing that, let me know. It'd be kind of fun to know that you're watching these as I'm counting them down. All right, let's see what we're going to look at tonight. Tonight's movie is another version of The Black Cat. I seem to sense a theme here. This one is an episode of Masters of Horror, The Black Cat. Jeffrey Combs plays Edgar Allan Poe himself in this made-for-TV movie. The story cleverly weaves Poe's 1843 short story into the real-life account of Poe, with the author upset that the public wants more fantastic tales when all he really wants is to write more poetry. But poetry doesn't pay the bills. He is struggling financially, his wife suffering from consumption, and himself from alcoholism. He reluctantly agrees to give the public what it wants, but finds himself suffering from writer's block. And his wife's cat, Pluto, annoyingly always underfoot. As in the short story, Poe takes out his frustrations on the pet. This was an episode of the Masters of Horror anthology series that ran on Showtime for 2 seasons, from 2005 to 2007. This was episode 11 of season 2 and was one of the best of the bunch. It was co-written by Stuart Gordon and Dennis Paoli and directed by Stuart Gordon, who had famously directed Combs in a number of movies prior to this, including Reanimator, From Beyond, and Castle Freak. Combs does a fantastic job of portraying Poe in this movie, channeling the writer through his performance as well as the terrific makeup job he wears. Combs would reprise this role a few years later when he performed a one-man play on stage called Nevermore, An Evening with Edgar Allan Poe. He traveled the country with the play, which was once again co-written by Stuart Gordon and Dennis Paoli and directed by Stuart Gordon. I caught the show in Nashville in January 2011 when he performed at the Nashville Public Library. Fantastic stuff. And so is this Masters of Horror episode. Highly recommended. Stuart Gordon and Jeffrey Combs, they worked together a lot, didn't they? Stuart Gordon, Jeffrey Combs was definitely Stuart Gordon's guy. I've heard Quentin Tarantino say that most directors have a guy that's their guy that they use over and over, and definitely Jeffrey Combs is Stuart Gordon's guy, or was. Unfortunately, Stuart passed away I think it was last year, as a matter of fact, or maybe it was earlier this year. And when we did the random drawing of what this year's theme was going to be, I had actually just watched this Masters of Horror episode a couple of days before shooting that video. It's a great video, great story. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Ravens. Great story, and Jeffrey Combs, man, he nails it as Poe. I saw the one-man play, like I mentioned before, and it was fantastic. It was at the Nashville Public Library, and Combs was mesmerizing as Poe. So anyway, we'll keep this countdown going. Be sure and tune back in tomorrow night right here on the YouTube channel. We'll have another movie in this countdown in our Edgar Allan Poe Down. So until then, this is Dr. Gangrene saying Happy Halloween and stay mad.